Hi, I'm James Paller. I'm the MD of Shaw Holdings and invest into wine. I'm also a private investor myself of wine. And so I've decided to put together a wine investor course and various reasons, which I'll explain today. One of the reasons is so that I can share my experience with not just new investors who want to get into wine investment, but also existing investors. And I'll tell you a bit about my story, so how we started and how we got into wine and how it went for us. Initially, I decided to take on the Wines and Spirits Education Trust levels, and I took every level. I think there was 3 or 4 levels, and the last level that I stopped at was the one before becoming a sommelier. Of course, I didn't need to become a sommelier because I'm a wine investor, so I'm not suggesting that you do these courses, but I enjoyed them. They were good. They taught me a lot about how to make wine, how to produce it, how to taste wine, different regions of wine. So I got a very good understanding from those levels, but I'm not suggesting you do that if you just want to be a wine investor. I was doing it because I was venturing into wine investment on a larger scale. So therefore, I took it upon myself to do this, and I had investors that were coming in with me. So we got to the point where we were ready to start the investment, or start making some investments into the market. So we researched different wines, different parcels, we looked at the prices, and we started studying the market. And we started talking to one particular company in the UK. It was a father and son team. They were Scottish, I remember, and they were offering us a parcel of Latour 1998, and it was a good price. It looked like a good price at the time. It was around £900, and so we were organising the warehouse account in the UK, and we were talking to them about the logistics, and then of course that we would pay, and then we would check the stock, etc., and all the rest of it. And so it came to the crunch where we were going to place the order. And as we were placing the order, the father came back and kind of gave us a different deal. The deal had sort of changed, and payment had to be made within 24 hours as opposed to maybe, I think, 1 week, and etc., etc. There was a few things that had changed, and so we pulled out of that deal. And I remember I didn't feel comfortable with it because I felt that it was a little bit unprofessional. So we then sourced around, we looked into the market, and we managed to find some more Latour 1998 vintage, and we got it slightly cheaper, in fact. So it turned out good in the end. Then we went on to invest into lots of different wines, and we built up a great portfolio with myself and my investor group. And we invested over £30 million worth of wine. We now have warehouses in the UK, France, and we ventured into New York for a little while. We started building up some stock in New York, and at the start it was going well, but we found it was a little bit challenging, the US market. We hit a brick wall. We did over $500,000 with one particular supplier, and then some stock that they sold us, they couldn't deliver. We tried to get a debt collection company to chase them. They promised us that this was a very easy case and we didn't have a problem. Then then they wasted 1 year, and they came back to us and said we need to pay more and more legal fees, and so we decided to pull out. We felt that there was something wrong. So we then had another issue with a particular broker who we were negotiating on a particular parcel, and then they took it that was a confirmed order. They sent us an invoice immediately. The next day when we got the invoice, we said, no, we didn't place this order. We're still talking about it. We were still looking at prices. They said to us that they'd committed on that deal or something, and I mean we literally immediately cancelled the order. We said this is not a confirmed order. They got upset. They actually had some first growth wines that they hadn't delivered to us that were still pending, and then they delivered those stocks and that were owed to us from a different order, and they actually delivered them not in their original wooden cases, which of course wasn't the agreement. We tried to ask them, this wasn't the part of the, they should be in original wooden cases. They refused to swap them. We then had to go and source from Bordeaux. We had to go and source original wooden cases, which proved to be quite a headache. So we had a couple of challenges in New York because of that. And then the main problem we found in New York was that brokers and merchants were working on very large margins as opposed to what they worked on in Europe. Some were working on 15 to 20%, quite a number of the merchants and brokers especially. And so it was very difficult to make a good return if you were having to sell back to a market that would take such a huge margin from you when you sell your wine back. So eventually I decided to pull out of New York. We brought all our wine that we'd built up a portfolio of, we shipped it back to the UK. It was quite reasonable, the shipping costs, so we didn't pay too much. And we then happily sold that wine in Europe and had no problems with it. There's not all European merchants will buy stock that has been to America. You have to disclose that to them, of course. But there are merchants, and there are merchants in Hong Kong as well who don't mind buying that stock that's been to New York, providing they know it's had a good storage history and it's in good quality. So we pulled out of New York. We built up this great portfolio. We made quite big returns. The Latour 1998, the very first investment that we made back then, many years ago, that went up from £900 a case up to well over £3,000 a case. In the peak, it was well over 3,000. It dropped back down now, I think, to £3,000. From 2011, the wine market dipped for 3-4 years. Then it started coming back again. So even during that period when the wine market dipped, that was related to China and government clamping down on government officials receiving gifts in fine wine, etc. So the market started dropping because of that, but then there was additional issues with the market. Prices were a little bit inflated. But we still had recommendations during that period. The wines that we bought around 2011, 2012, we saw some negatives from those, but after that, wine market started picking up again. We made some good returns. We're making some good returns now. Some of the wines that we've been buying in the last 12 months are already up 10-15%. So it's doing very well. And yeah, so that's my experience, and that's what I wanted to share with you. And that's where you benefit, because you take a course like this. I'm giving you my experience. I'm giving you my knowledge, so that you do not make the mistakes that we've made in the past, and how to find the right wines, how to negotiate on the right parcels, where to store your wines, how to store them, how much you should be paying for storage, all these kind of things. So it's as I said, it's not just good for new investors, people who are thinking, I want to invest into wine, but I don't really know how to do it, how to get started. You have this fear factor. Well, I explain all that in my course. It's 9 videos. You can watch them in your own time. You have 3 months to watch them. You can watch them as many times as you like. And I think this will really benefit existing investors in wine as well. Because if you really understand the wine investment market really clearly, you yourself will be a better informed investor. It's easier to make the right decision, and make the right decision with confidence. You see, knowledge is power. So the course is $397, and we're running a little promotion at the moment where you can get a bit of discount. So click the link below and check that out. And I think it's very reasonable. I hope you'll agree. If you came to a seminar and I lectured you on this, it would take me 3 to 4 days, and you'd have to pay me $5,000. So you do this in the comfort of your own home, in your own time. You watch these videos as much as you like. And if you think there's not enough information there, and you think there's something else that you need to know, I'm more than happy for you to email us, and we will more than happy be obliging to give you advice and cover anything that you need, anything that's not there for you. But I'm pretty sure everything is covered, because it tells you the whole story. So yeah, so that's it. Take the course and enjoy it, and become a fine wine investor. Start building a portfolio, and I hope to hear from you soon. Thank you very much.